Hello and welcome back to another video. So, doing a little thing different from what I usually do, which is, of course, mostly Stormworks. We're going to be playing TerraFirmaCraft. It's a Minecraft mod. It's one of my favorites. It basically turns Minecraft into more of a primitive survival thing. It makes everything so much more difficult. There's food decay, seasons, farming, forging, everything. It's a really cool mod. Definitely would recommend try it out. It does have a little bit of a learning curve, but it's pretty easy to understand after a while. And of course, you can always just look at the Wikipedia page. So, got a couple of more mods other than the TerraFirmaCraft one. I have Zero's minimap, and I also have too many items just in case I need to look up a recipe for something, which there's going to be a lot of doing that. So it looks like we're in a andesite area. If you did not know, in this mod there's lots of different types of rocks. And each rock, I guess you call them biomes. Kind of like their own little biome, I guess you could say. They both have, or they all have their own different kind of ores that they can spawn. So in andesite we have cinnabar. It's mostly useless. I think it's just for like decoration stuff. Painting or something like that. Native copper, this is going to be very useful. It's basically going to be our first metal tool. Native gold is kind of useless. Bismuth, you can pair it with copper and I think sphalerite, some kind of other metal to make bismuth bronze. And we also have hematite in this biome, which is going to be really good when we want to actually get a foundry up and running. Try and make some wrought iron and then eventually steel. I gotta collect a bunch of sticks and rocks. And I'll show you the crafting system. It's a really cool system, very engaging, also very painful to do in mass quantities, but it will. So another thing about this mod, mob spawning is a little bit different. There's not actual mobs that spawn in the night. They're usually always down in the caves. There's not much in the caves anyway, though, at least not what I've found. But it might be a viable mining strategy if it actually has anything in it. But basically, the only biggest threat you're gonna face above ground is going to be wild animals. So you have bears, coyotes, or coyotes, however you want to pronounce that. And I think there's one other. I don't remember. Maybe wolves. But anyway, we're just gonna collect all the rocks and sticks we can. Just gonna need it for later. Looks like we got a lava pit there. Some basalt. So, crafting system. Basically get this little grid of rock. To make an axe, you want to carve it out there. Basically what you're doing is called napping. You're basically banging two rocks together, which will use two rocks here. Actually, only one rock, I think. One will be turned into the tool, and then you'll get an extra rock back. But if I fail, so I go like this, I won't get anything because I broke the rock. So if I want to make an axe, take out one there, three here, one there, and one there. I got a rock's head, a rock axe head. I can do that again to get more axe heads a little bit faster. Next thing we'll probably need for starting off is definitely a knife. Just come in sets of 2 if you do it like this. And we'll do that again to get 4 of everything so we can fill up all these slots here. Next thing we want is a shovel. So that's a simple shovel head shape like that. And then, oh, looks like we got tetrahedrite. This is copper, essentially. We'll just mark that on the mini-map so we can come back to it later when we want to prospect some stuff, maybe start up a mine. So it's tetrahedrite, it's basically copper, comes in units of 10. That's what you're going to be melting to actually get your first tool. But to do that, we need clay. We'll go back to the rocks first. Another thing we want It's probably a Javelin. So that's 3 out of the corner here, 3 out of the corner here, and 3 out of the corner there. This is basically just a spearhead. It's going to be helpful in case we ever encounter any wild animals. We need to take them out from range, because if they get to us, it might say we have 850 health here, but it goes down fast and it does not go back up. At least not very fast. So now we just got to turn this into tools by adding a stick. And that's really it for getting your first tools. Now what we really need to do now is find a source of water that we can actually drink. So once that meter goes down, we're basically dead. You can't really run if you run out of water, and of course if you get attacked, you're gonna die. Like, we got more native copper here. I'm not gonna mark it because it's just native copper. Usually it's only like on the surface. But tetrahedrite we probably want to look out for. I could be saying that wrong though. I'm not really sure. It's usually a lot easier to find ores on the side of mountains or cliffs than it is to actually dig down. Another thing about this game as well, or mod, so we got cinnabar. Oh no, that's hematite. We'll mark that. Throw it away because we don't really need it right now. There is gravity, so dirt can fall, grass can fall, and even rock can fall. Ways you prevent that is basically, well, dirt is a little bit harder to prevent from falling, but stone. Oh, crap. Looks like we got our first wild animal. We're going to head into the opposite direction, because I do not want to mess with that. But anyway, there's gravity. Ways you want to prevent that is by using bracing. Once we get like a mine started up, though, I'll go more in depth with that. So what we need to find now is basically a clay source and a water source. Like, we do have some squash here. Doesn't seem like any of it's ready, but I'm gonna grab the seeds anyway. Just so wherever we settle, we can get a farm going. And for there being decay, farming is going to be really time important, because if we start it too late, we won't get any food out of it before winter comes. But if we start too early, it'll all rot by the time winter comes. And of course, temperature has to play with food decay. So once you get into the winter time, you're basically golden with all the food you can preserve. But we'll get all into that later. Like, we got a lot of copper everywhere, which is good. Might be able to get our first tool pretty soon. We just need to find some clay right now. And clay forming is basically the same as rock knapping, but it's a little bit different, of course. There's different recipes. But it's a little bit more forgiving. If you mess up, we can just reform it. And it is becoming night, so we're just going to go back to this little pond here. Oh, looks like we do have some clay here. And some animals which we might be able to kill. Looks like we got it. Didn't give me anything. Unless it flew off somewhere. Huh. There we go. And this is the 1.12 version of TerraFirmaCraft. The 1.7.10 is a little bit better. It's because you can actually place down wood, like kind of like strips. It's really cool for detailing, but obviously it's not in this version of the game. It's whatever though. I'm sure it was like, I think it was pretty buggy though. I can see why it's been removed. So we got clay here, and a nice pond to get some water. And a little note, if you're ever playing this mod, always mine the top block first, because if you mine the middle, it's going to collapse, and then you're not going to get anything from it. Mine up a little bit of clay here. Get our clay pits started up. Alrighty. So we did get some little bit of food from there. It's not really much. Should last at least a day though. So that's all good. Let's look around, see if we have any flat areas. We can start up a little campfire. Oh, whoops. Alright, we do have a mountain nearby. Maybe there's some more there. Who knows? Looks like the only flat part is here. And we do have a sequoia, which are pretty big trees. Should be a good spot. Ooh, and a hot spring. Hot springs are good if you want to regenerate some health. You might not want to fall in though, because you'll get sucked down to the bottom and then drown. So we're just gonna fell some trees right here. Simple as taking a stone axe and then hacking at it for a solid like 10 seconds. And the whole tree falls down. Now you get actual logs. We can't do much with these logs, as we do not have a saw. But that'll all come once we actually get our metal working all situated. So we're gonna get a campfire going. You want to craft a fire starter. It's 2 sticks. Throw down some of your sticks there, a log, and not pick up the sticks. I'll see if we can get a fire going. There we go. Now we can cook our venison. And you'll see the decay. It will decay in about 10 days. Basically mean the longer we have it in our inventory, just plain like this, the less nutrition it's going to have and less filling. So yeah, cooking it will extend it by a couple days. If we did have some rock salt in a quern to actually grind the salt, we could salt it, make it last a little bit longer. Also did get a rawhide, which we can use to make leather in the future. We're going to clear our hotbar a little bit, get out our shovel. We're going to dig some pits here. These are going to be the pit kilns. This is where we're going to cook our pottery. Get a little drink of water. Of course, there's also salt water. You obviously do not want to drink that. So, for our clay forming, there's going to be a couple of items we really want. First one, we want a water jug. Recipe is just like that. As you can see, it resembles a water jug. We're going to need a couple of those, so we're going to craft 4. And it looks like I just messed up there, but it's alright because it's clay. We can reform it, and we won't actually lose any. Now if we press V, we can put it down there. 1.7.10 is a little bit different. I think you have to like shift click it in. Let's go further one out. Now we need some vessels. It's going to be our main way of actually storing items for now. It stores 4 items, and if you put any food items in there, it would actually preserve it for a little bit, as it keeps the air and moisture out. And as well, any bacteria and insects, but of course there's not actually in the game. You just gotta pretend. I'm gonna craft a little bit more. Basically, crafting recipe is just 4 dots in the corner. And we got that now. Get a new stack of clay. Now we want a bowl. Crafting recipe is gonna be like that. Unfired bowl. These are gonna be helpful if we want to do some gold panning. Just to get some extra copper. Or anything we want to do in the future. Let's see, what kind of other things can we make? Make some tool molds, but we don't need those yet. The unfired pot doesn't really have a use yet. I think it still has to be updated, so... Oh, can you craft multiple bowls? Let's try that. Huh, doesn't look like it. Oh, we can. Look at that. We're just gonna craft. We'll keep... Oh, I already crafted. Never mind. We'll keep those extra. Now we could also make a large vessel. This will store up to 9 items. But it's a little bit harder to fire because it takes up one big space, just a little bit of waste of fuel. Now to use our knife from earlier that we crafted, we want to get a bunch of grass, basically. Or straw, as you would call it. This is going to be our tinder for the fire. And we're going to need a lot of it. So I'm going to grab a bit, and then I'll be right back. Ah, crap. Oh, got a bear on me. Oh, that was scary. So it seems like we got a bear right next to our camp. So we're gonna go in the opposite way, hope it despawns or just leaves. Let's go see about this mountain here. See if we got any copper. Or any kind of ore. Another hot spring, but that's about it. Alright, it looks like there's nothing on this mountain. And I just noticed there's a stupid tutorial prompt on the right side of the screen. It's getting really annoying. And of course, since it's modded, there's no vanilla trees in this game. It's gonna be a little hard to get rid of that. Let's head back to camp, get our pottery finished up, and get them all lighted. Alright, so what we want to do is take the straw, and we're going to place it over onto all of our pottery. And now we need a bunch of wood to actually place on top of it. We need 8 logs per hole. And after a couple of axes, the sequoia is now down. Take all of its good old logs and place them down. Nothing you can do with wood if you don't have it or want to put it in a chest. You actually can't put them in chests, actually. If you shift click and right click, you can make what's called a wood pile, and basically you got all your logs stored in there. So now we need more sticks and to make a fire starter and some torches. I'll explain why we need torches in a little bit. So let's get this campfire going again. It's a lot easier to ignite it once you've already have it crafted. Now we're going to throw in a couple of sticks, and those are going to catch fire to make torches. Torches do burn out after a while, so you'll have to relight them. But other than that, they're basically renewable. You don't have to worry about refueling them, you just gotta reignite them. Now we got 10 torches, we're gonna throw it on each of these holes. Could have done that fire starter, but it would have taken forever and a lot of sticks. Get that in this tree before it catches fire. Oh, it already did. And it's on fire. This is going great. And I believe there's also grass regeneration. So if I were to break those, eventually they would turn into something like that. It does cause a little bit of lag. I don't really have all that much memory on this computer. Only 16 gigabytes, but it should be enough. It does like the lag for whatever reason though. So, it's whatever. And the whole force is going up. I can't really stop this. Oh well. Let's just try and cut down some trees, try and contain it. Looks like we're super low on water as well. Fun. Alright, fire's contained, we're good. And there is a nutrition system, so the better food you eat, the more health you're going to get. There's a little bit of a dietary thing here, so if you eat all grain, it's going to lower your health a little bit. If you eat all fruit, etc., etc. Kind of have to have a balanced diet, of course. Just to keep your health up so you don't die instantly. So we might as well start up a pick kiln for our pickaxe and frost stick and pick. To do that, we need more clay. Actually, no, we can't do it without the vessels, never mind. So we gotta wait for this to finish up. I'll see you when that's done. We're gonna try and go after this black bear. Look, we're out of javelins. I can make a couple more. No, we'll come back. There we go. Bit of a cowardly way to kill it, but who cares? They are scary. I got some more copper. Nice. Alright, back to camp to see if our stuff is finished, and it has not, because it's only been like a minute. We can cook up this bear meat though. So it looks like we do have our vessels now. We can shift and right click to get them out. And what we're going to do, if you see we have a copper of 10 units, that means for every piece of copper here, we have 10 units. We need exactly 100 units to make one piece, I believe. Yes. So we have enough for actually 3 tools. No, actually more than 3 tools. We can get 4 tools. So the tools we're going to get, we're probably need a second pick kiln. I just reuse those actually. Never mind, whatever. Alright, so the stuff we need, we definitely need a pickaxe. That is the wrong. There it is. We got our pickaxe mold. And we also need a prospecting pick, which is crafted like that. Also need a saw mold. Oh, right. When you're doing clay, it has to be inverse. There we go. Alright, and then we're also going to get probably a chisel. It'll be good when we want to get to our first anvil or get a quern. Quern again is basically a grindstone. So we're going to put all our molds here. And now, since we have all our copper in here, we have about 400 units. That's enough for 4 things. And go ahead and put that down in there. Might as well make it efficient and grab these bowls. Lay it down straw, which we need more of course. Bam. Throw a torch on that. Maybe get some light around here. And those will start cooking. Now it does look like we have our water jugs here. Do a little bit of inventory management. Organize some of these jugs here. Probably should fill them up first. Some of the stuff like the hide and bones we can just pop onto the ground. Same with the copper if we don't need it. Let's put our meat in one of these vessels, and you'll see it now can last 27 days. Grab that out. Gonna expire on August and then September. Hold on, what day is it? Is it early summer? Oh, it's on fire again, God. Oh my God. This always happens. I got a good name for this episode. Alrighty, I'm gonna do a little bit of inventory management, get all this stuff ready to go. Cut down some more trees. Do some more hunting. Stockpile some foods, maybe gather some wild plants. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. Next episode, we'll probably play with our new tools here. Probably go prospecting, maybe set up a mine, build a house, not really sure. Next episode probably won't be for a while. Probably look at the success of this video, so if you guys want to see more, hit like, I guess. If not, oh well. Yeah, that's really it. Discord's down below if you want to hang out. Watch whatever I'm doing in Stoneworks, which is most likely suffering. And yeah, that's really it. See you all in the next video.